Brodes Media.
Isn't that the most Phillies way to respond to getting swept in Citi Field? Now, it didn't move me. Did I have fun watching Schwarber in the ninth go for 5 against a position player? Without a doubt, okay? I have emotions. I am human. Was I rooting for Bader at that point to get the cycle again against a position player? Without a doubt. But what is perfectly described in this outing, when you compare it to what happened in Queens, it's so extreme. Kyle Schwarber, 4 homers, 9 runs batted in to break up an 0 for 20 plus stretch. It's either you do something that's more rare than a perfect game, or your offense is tragic, it's falling asleep, it's dead upon arrival, it is disgustingly vomit, it's fucking trash, or we're doing something that you've only seen 21 players do in Major League Baseball history. Why does it have to be this way? Why? And it started so ugly. That eerie feeling in the first, that was awkward as hell. And I think that was probably what the emotion should have been in the ballpark. I think that perfectly is the right feeling. And what I mean is Rob Thompson, after the game, took a shot at WIP because Kyle Quinn, who produces the midday show, said he wanted the fans to just insanely boo the players and boo the team after the worst series you could have ever imagined. And while I have the thoughts of this team pisses me off, I can't stand them, you're a joke, after dropping 3 where 2 of them were not even competitive, and they spanked you. Spanked. I feel it in my bone marrow. I don't think that does any right to use that energy in that way. I'm also not patting them on the head and say, there, little Jimmy. It doesn't matter. You just screwed up. You made a mistake, but you can get a second chance. And I gave you a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth chance, a sixth chance, a seventh chance. You're on your 20th fucking chance. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not giving you a standing ovation to try and rally the troops either. I need it to be uncomfortable. I need it to be awkward. And that first inning, it was more than just Aaron Nola pitching poorly, walking runners in, the Braves taking a 3-0 lead, which probably should have been 4-rip because I thought Ozzie Albies slid in there. It was close. It was bang, bang. Maybe they didn't have enough to overturn it, and the Braves so early in the game didn't want to take that risk, and maybe it wouldn't have mattered anyway because the Phillies offense was clearly locked in, and the Braves pitching sucks. I mean, these guys suck. Cal sucks. I'll run through some of Cal's most recent games. 3 earned runs and 5 walked batters in less than 5 innings pitched. 7 earned runs in less than 4 innings pitched, and 7 earned runs with 3 walks in 4 1/3. So he has been insanely pathetic. And then here comes Cox right after. I'll tell you what, he sucks. 7 earned runs. He was abysmal. One guy allows 9, the other guys allow 7. And while I do think the Phillies entered the ballpark today with more of a purpose, with wanting to prove people wrong, with some edge, and we'll expand more on that in just a minute. I think that happened. I also think the Braves are just horrible. And the Braves allowed batting practice. Because if you see some of these piss missiles and how badly they were squared up, you're talking the first 4 home runs as a team, 450 feet, 442 feet, 423 feet. 399. You're talking second deckers. You're talking about putting the pitch in a danger zone where Kyle Schwarber could be blindfolded and just feel the sense of maybe the ball being over the plate, and he's swinging. He had a pitch, by the way, in the 9th to get 5. It was there. I did one of those, fuck. I did one of those. So believe it or not, this game had a few seconds where it gave me a reaction. And if I told you prior to the first pitch going down that there would be something that moved me, I'd say you're nuts. I'd say you're doing meth. You're drinking a shit ton of Fireball. It's just not happening. Yet we see something that is not seen ever. Seriously. Think about how ridiculous a perfect game would have been. If someone threw Aaron Nola through a perfect game tonight, there's a higher probability of that happening than when Kyle did. And yet here we are when we're at our maddest, when we're at our breaking point, where we feel so terrible about who this team is and the personality of the group. You get something that's mind-blowing and numbs you. It's just typical Phillies baseball. It really is. So let's get into Aaron Nola a little bit. Did he settle in? Yes. Did he have so much run support that it's hard to even judge? Yes. But as an Aaron Nola supporter, I'd be lying to you all if I said him settling down did anything for me positively. That first inning was such a gut punch. Your offense isn't going to be that productive every day. You're not going to get that many home runs. You're not going to see that power. It happened on this particular night. But that Aaron Nola inning, I'm still afraid of. And it is a part of Aaron Nola in 2025. I give him a lot of credit after 37 pitches, almost 40 pitches in the first inning, to still get that amount of length matters. Every game at this point that you can ask certain bullpen arms to not go is huge, but also when you score 19 runs, you're not looking at anybody important at the back end of the bullpen anyway. But the reason why I think it's important to note that that first inning still happened against any other team that's not throwing Cal or Cox. You could be down 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 in that first inning, and it completely destroys any chance to win, even if you still go 5. It's that draining. It's that hurtful, especially when the team is so fragile because they currently are. I just didn't like it. And I'm the first one to point out all the positive stuff out of Aaron Nola. I don't know if this is confusing some of you. Some of you may have your jaw on the floor, or I'm overplaying this and it's not that surprising at all. It's a very logical take. I don't know. But some think I go the extra mile in any sort of dialogue about Aaron Nola, getting him back on track, believing in him. And you would think going 6 after 37 pitches in the first inning and walking in runners. But, you know, because a lot of my heart screams, Brodes, you know, this is more about the Atlanta Braves being a nobody than it is anything else. And I agree, even though I also acknowledge that they did seem to have urgency to show up to the ballpark, to have a purpose tonight, to do something with meaning tonight, to do something to make a stand tonight. That's the way they played. They responded to a 3-0 deficit by putting up 5 with no fucking joking around, with no BS. It didn't take them to the 7th inning to finally get to some bum. It was right from the get-go. You could see it in some of their eyes. This game was going to be different. But the reason why I can't really consume that as much as they want me to is because in what world is now the time you have that edge? It takes you to get beat up, just a gross beating, almost a death type of beating, for you to show up against an Atlanta team at home? You should have that drive organically. You shouldn't need to get the snot kicked out of you for it to show up. If that's the case, then something's wrong. Somewhere along the lines here, it's not working. This needed to be the way you played the Mets. And not 19-4, but how about looking like a baseball team? Let's start there. Let's start with the basics. Let's start with the fundamentals. How about, there's a word that starts with a C, competent. How about that one? Looking competent, looking like a division winner, looking like a team that's winning the NL East, looking like a team that actually has a chance to win a championship. How about that? So when I get it late, hey, that was a great paper you wrote if I'm a teacher. Too bad it was due December 12th. It's February 15th. What good does that do? We're already on the next semester. You're handing in a paper that's from the first semester. You're not even taking that class anymore. You're giving the teacher the test and the results of a class that you took 3 years ago. What do you want me to do?